will take him down, and Icefall gets himself the first kill of the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cop for Germany. They want the US to engage, right? They have a Roadhog to deal with flankers. They want to use the Bastion as a big, juicy piece of bait, and then they can collapse upon the US. But smart by the US, they're not falling for it. They just sort of sent Tailspin around the side. A little bit risky, perhaps, but I mean, getting a hook into a Bastion and picking him up, that would have been the job done already. But the way that Icefall was able to take him 1v1 in recon mode is going to mean that tank configuration is not far away for the Bastion.
Gods has got himself his Deadeye ready and waiting. He gets Roster, picks him off around the side there. As soon as they get caught up, that's perfect for the Deadeye, but he just doesn't need to use it because the rest of it's in the kills. Gods gets himself the left click onto Skipjack, and Stir gets himself a quick double in there as well, getting himself on the board.
Yeah, Stir's been playing really well so far. I mean, those are support ults being used there. We saw Sound Barrier, we saw Nanoboost being used. That's about it. Tailspin switched directly over towards the Diva. So he, with the defense matrix, can give his team quite a large window where they are not going to take any damage from the Bastion whatsoever. That's going to allow him to facilitate someone to get to the Bastion itself. So Gods can sort of 1v1 if Tailspin has a defense matrix there. Just like we talked about Bromas in the earlier game, how he set up Harry Hook on that Diva. Same idea counts.
Well, they're walking straight into a Graviton Surge. They've got themselves stacked up, but it's only caught 3 of them out here. It isn't as bad as it was yesterday. Obviously, we saw the Genji going through with the Seagull. Tailspin, of course, coming in on the Diva, trying to catch him out there. God's getting the left click going. Now Peacemaker doing some serious work. He's going to catch out Rosta as he tries to dash for the health pack. Not going to work out. Germany forced back once again.
Seagull, very clever from him. He actually shot the Graviton Surge across the gap on the upper side of the wall. That means that Germany gets sucked upwards and they can't use the little stalagmites, the ones obviously that pick up on the ground to hide behind. That means that Gods just sits back, channels Deadeye, gets 2 very easy kills. Nicely placed, and something it's good to see Graviton Surge is not always placed right on top of people. Here's the tank though.
Well, they're going to try and go for a configuration tank from Icefeld. Is it going to work out? No, Sleep Dart comes in, and then he's just slammed out the side by Meza. Good night. But Archie manages to save the day. Icefeld still didn't get taken down. He's still around the side there. Now he gets dropped. There's going to be the self-destruct getting thrown out. Graviton Surge pops around the side. Tailspin tries to get straight in the face. He gets Sleep Darted. Then he gets decent. Swinging away. There's going to be Skipjack catching him on there. The hook not quite ready. But Germany might well have just done it. They get pinned in the air by Seagull, but there was no follow-up this time. And unfortunately, Gods, he's trying to do the left clicking. Meza's managed to get himself a kill.
Yeah, he missed the Earth Shadow, but he's able to still follow up on the backside of it now as well. And God, look at that. He's going to get the Nanoboost here as well. Now McCree's going to be running red hot around this map, looking for now. In the background, it's going to be Archie. Gets punched down. They've got Ruster very, very close to falling himself. He did go down, ultimately there to Gods. Nicely played there as well. Germany looked to be making some progress here, but the sad reality is, Lee, their ace in the hole was the Bastion tank. Yeah. It didn't work out, even with the Nanoboost, because he got put to sleep and then charged. That is at least 4 to 5 seconds of not being able to do anything. In fact, they could have let him sleep even longer. Perfect response from the US to nullify the big threat. And now, last few moments, 1 second remains. Got him taken out. Yeah, Ruster, they're going into the payload here. Germany need to contest, but they've got to keep themselves healthy as well. It's going to be a Nanoboost going out over towards Internet Hulk up on the top side here. He's going to try and turn this in their favour.
Trying to get on the towards Gods. Can he get enough? He manages to take Gods down. Internet Hulk in the background, trying to do some serious work here, but he's getting forced so low. He doesn't have primal rage. He's going to get himself on towards the second one. Can't get him down. Seagull burns him down from up on high, and this will be the United States clearing out Germany, taking it at a clean 2-0. They're preventing them from hitting the very first point on Route 66, as they did on Hanamura. And it was all easy work for the United States, and Germany look to be bowing out early here at the Overwatch World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it does appear that Germany won't be making it out of the group stage, which is a big shame. We talked about how strong they are individually and the history, the richness of that behind the players, but they weren't able to put it together. That happens a lot of the time in teams in esports. Sometimes you can have the best team, but if you don't gel, if it doesn't work, then you have to accept that and move on. Obviously, conversely, for the US, they're working very, very well, but I know who else is working very, very well. It's Seltzer and the crew on the desk, guys. What do you have to say on this one?
Wow, we have a lot to say. Thank you so much, Uber and D-Man. That matchup was really, really cool for fans of USA. Seagull only died 2 times between 2 maps.
It's insane. So here's the thing is that we say that the Overwatch World Cup is a celebration. Well, that last series was a celebration of Seagull. You cannot have a better series than what he just had.
Yeah, I mean, his first 2 games here, I mean, the one against Chile that we casted yesterday, and then this one, he's just been absolutely dominant.
And this is our updated group standings. USA at the top of the group. Looking great. Proud of them. Good job, boys.
You know, I mean, Russia coming up next against Chile has an opportunity to go 2-0, so they could match USA at the top. That'll be a fantastic match, but I mean, USA just on Hanamura to start things off, I mean, they were just so good. 97 to 22 in terms of kills, and that was the one, Jason, that you said USA was worried about.
Yeah, and which is kind of going to be a tough match for them, I think, when they play against them later on. But I want to point out a couple of things, because we kind of skimmed over the analysis, but there were some key points in the match that actually happened that kind of determined how things went. So first clip we're going to look at is involving Germany successfully having a good attack. And for the most part, they really struggled at having an attack that was on their own terms, and that's where you see teams can really excel. So this one I want to point out started off with a hook that came in out of R tier onto Mezer. Pulls him in, takes in a half HP, and immediately pops his whole hog. But as we play the clip, you can see the whole hog being used, the Graviton surge, and most importantly, the Biotic grenade off the back of that to completely eliminate any healing. And even with the sound barrier being used out of Adam, it just wasn't enough. The problem was for Germany is that they didn't have the opportunity to make these fights happen time and time again. They were always aggressed on later on that point alone. We saw them group up in the high ground, got post-bombed down by Tailspin and completely demolished.
The big thing for Germany is that overall they seemed out of sync. These are all very good players that are on Germany. We've seen them have success in the pro scene, but it just feels like something is lacking with their coordination, and they really have not been able to turn the corner. It's been their bane this entire exhibition thus far.
And coming into the second half of Round 66, we saw Germany invest into the Bastion play, trying to make something happen off of that. And when they finally got a nano boost to take form Bastion, which we're going to see here on this replay, you're going to see exactly what happens. America had the perfect response to it. So we're going to see him actually go in eventually. And from that, as we can start the replay here, he gets onto the high ground with a nice rocket jump, perfectly well done by him. But the problem is, he's got a shield to compete with, he's got Stir off to the side he's trying to take down, who gets Sorry shielded up, and Earthshatter comes in and then charged away. They had an answer for the entire linchpin of how Germany was trying to successfully make this attack work.
And to just go back to some of the things that we saw with Germany, it's like you saw like the ideas, right? Like right there, just get shut down by good USA. You saw the first replay where they had everything going. It's just they could not get that consistently time and time again together.
And the key there, too, is when you look at USA, I mean, clearly they have good shot calling going on, because as soon as that tank came out, everyone backed out.
Yep.
They didn't stay in place. They didn't try and fight it. They backed out. They waited for the CC to come in, and they went from there. So USA clearly is working on just a higher level of teamwork than what other teams are right now in the exhibition.
And to be fair to Germany, like, they're a team full of great players. I know I criticized Rusty yesterday, but he actually plays a ton of Ana. The problem is, like, when you're not playing necessarily the role you normally play within a team, it's a completely different environment from solo queue compared to playing in an actual match. I'd say over on the US side, they got a little bit more lucky in terms of who got voted in, because you have so many people who can flex. There's so many different roles, but you got people playing like their main role, which gives you such a huge advantage when you're playing these matches.
Well, I feel like in an exhibition like this, like somebody like Seagull who can play like Genji, and then also you saw him play like Zarya, like he can play so many different heroes. Like somebody like that is so much more valuable in an exhibition like this, because you have some players that, you know, they get drafted in and whatnot, they're very comfortable on like one or two heroes. Having somebody who can switch over to multiple different ones, so important.
Well, not only that, but they seem to come up with compositions that we're not used to seeing on these maps. We had no Mei on defense for Hanamura. We had some interesting choices, including a Diva here on Route 66. So tell me about that, ZP.
So, you do have interesting compositions going in there. I think the most interesting thing comp-wise is that Germany didn't really have an answer for the Genji. We did see Icefeld on the McCree, but he wasn't having a good game. And that's the power of having a good Genji player on your team, is that even though Genji has his counters, it requires a good game and a lot of skill to actually counter a Genji like Seagull. Unfortunately for Germany, they didn't have anyone that could play at that level to actually neutralize
Well, that's what's weird about it. You have two really good McCree players, but did we see McCree often? Not really. Maybe that's just kind of the style Germany wanted to go into, play fast, aggressive like they did with Hanamura. But either way, yeah, like you're saying, like I feel like I've said this about Genji versus McCree. If you have them both at equal skill, the Genji will still win just based off Genji's kit. So if you're going to be McCree to counter a Genji, you have to be a lot better than the Genji player. And as we saw Seagull on Genji, it's going to be really hard to do that.
Yeah, the most successful thing we saw, I think, Germany do against the Genji and, was Ardier on Roadhog. Right. He was actually able to grab him out of the air. Sometimes you just saw Seagull going, okay, fine, I'm going to avoid it. Welcome back to the Overwatch World Cup, everyone. We are about to kick off my most exciting match of the day. It's going to be South Korea and US.